To niche or not to niche? That is the question. I am so excited to bring you a conversation I had with Sharon. She is a human design business coach, and she has a very unconventional way of niching. And I'm really excited to go jump into that conversation. But first, I want to bring to the table a new offer that I'm working on that I'm so excited about. It's an inner circle where you're going to have access to me getting my eyes on your stuff, all the content that's in the library. It's a place to go. It's a community to be in, to really hone in on what your message is. Start practicing using your voice in the way that feels really authentic to you, and get that feedback that is so helpful in the beginning, and even honestly a few years in too, of am I even communicating and articulating what I want to articulate. Super excited about that. I'm going to drop the wait list. There will be a deal. There'll be a deal for the people that are on the wait list as first founding members, and you'll get lots of goodies too. So if this is of interest to you, an inner circle to get my eyes on your work and on your writing, then definitely jump on the wait list, and I'll be releasing details more as I get things put together. But super excited about it. Now, today, the conversation with Sharon is so good. She has a very unconventional way of looking at niching, and it uses human design and gates, the gates that you have highlighted in your chart. So I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the end. Oh my gosh, Sharon, I'm so excited to have this conversation. Let's start with how you discovered human design and what that kind of did for your own life's journey and discovery.
So I think, like a lot of people, I heard it within a week in different spots. And then just, different people talking about human design. And I was like, how did I never hear of this? Like, I've been on this personal growth thing for like that long. I've never heard of it. Like, that was about 4 years ago or something. I was just amazed. And then obviously Googled it, went into research, had my first reading. And the thing that blew me away the most was that it was like nothing new, really, like something deep down inside. It's just like gives you the language for it and reminds you who you are, kind of thing. It like peels away the layers. And for me, the most interesting thing was that it actually stated that I'm supposed to be multi-passionate, which obviously I always knew, but I always thought something's wrong with me, and I need, I can't decide for one thing, so what's wrong with me kind of feeling. So that was a permission slip. And the other one was that I'm sacral authority. So it was this permission again to be like deciding in the moment and the gut feeling, rather than to-do lists and I know pro-con lists and thinking about it and all of that. So that was the biggest gift, really.
Oh, so true. I mean, same. When you hear those, like, you're not meant to do the same thing, it just, yes, that's what I felt and what I wanted, but it gives you the permission to accept that and be okay with it, and not to follow the traditional path of choosing one thing for the rest of your life. What different things, multi-passionate things, have you bounced around from?
Well, the reason why I went, I started with a cabinet maker apprenticeship, just because I wanted to do something with my hands, I guess. And then afterwards, I just went self-employed straight away, because that seemed to be the biggest box, and the box where I didn't have to explain what I did. You can just say, well, I'm self-employed, and that's enough for most people. So it gave me the most freedom, really, to and then it went from furniture design to interior design to exhibition design to project management in the exhibition world, and very multi-passionate career, really. Like, on the big projects, you do actually have to know all the things at the same time. So I was quite lucky there.
Do you feel like all of those different things that you dove into have prepared for where you are right now? Like it was all, you had to go through all of those different iterations in order to be who you are today.
Yeah, line 3.
Yeah, line 3, definitely.
Trial and error. Yeah, definitely. It's like, I think it's like hitting 50 is a weird kind of thing. It sort of gives you a bit of the fuck it moment. So like, if not now, then when kind of wake up call. It also, it put me into this muddy phase, where you can't see where it's going, but the old way is not the right one sort of thing. So you just have to sit still for a while and wait. And then it actually did connect all the dots. Like everything I've done was like, I can actually all build that into coaching, especially business coaching, because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. And the human design thing with the permission slip, that all came together with seeing so many multi-passionates struggling with not being able to decide for one thing, rather than seeing themselves as inventors and as the person that mixes things together that haven't been mixed before, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's totally what I love. MGs bring those different things together in a way that no one else would think to bring them together. And it's such a beautiful thing. But I see so many MGs struggling, though, with that. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. They haven't really figured out how everything goes together. And they get really itchy of like, I don't get it. Where am I going? Where is any of this taking me? And I can relate to that. What do you tell people when they kind of come to you in that space of, I have all these different passions. I just don't see how any of it goes together, any of it relates?
Well, I think patience is not really our virtue, because we move fast and then everyone else isn't moving that fast. So patience is a big thing. And that was really something that I had to learn as well, to sit still and just wait what comes up, kind of thing. Is like it's like the plateaus is a thing, the patience is a thing that you really have to lean into and learn. And it takes time, I think it really is a journey kind of thing. I don't think you can be 22, have all these passions, and then see how it goes together. It's like, it does take time. Like,
yeah. Oh, the plateau too. I mean, that's a big one that I personally have experienced multiple times, and see so many clients going through too, of that. It feels like nothing works. Everything feels like you want to burn it to the ground, or that completely change direction and go do something completely different, when really it's just an opportunity to sink deeper into who you are and what you love and what you do actually want for your life.
Yeah, and to also to look after yourself, because we can be like moving so fast that we do neglect our physical well-being sometimes, kind of thing, because we just forget about it because we're so into it. And then those times as well, we can really like hone into the self-care. And
well, and your Mercury gate is all about restoration too. So how do you balance that like drive for wanting to go and create and do, and resting and restoring your energy?
So in my old job, kind of thing, where I had these massive deadline-driven projects, it happened naturally, right? Because I was actually burned out every time I was done. I was full into burnout. I couldn't actually physically do anything. And I kind of liked it like that. I liked this going, and then not having enough money to not do anything. So that was quite nice. Now with the coaching and going more into the online space, I have to, yeah, it's been a learning process to accept that there is times where I'm like really inspired and creative and I can just sit down and do. And then there's times where I don't feel motivated at all. And yeah, it's just an acceptance piece, I think. And compassion thing, like allowing yourself that.
Yeah. What are your favorite things to do to kind of restore energy and relax and self-care?
Definitely travel.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what lights me up. Like travel
Yeah.
lights me up.
Yeah. And it just gives so much inspiration too when you do that.
Yeah, and seeing different, yeah, it's just like people watching. Yeah, people watching is a big one. I don't know if it's kitchen, but I guess it's kitchen, like being in the middle of it, like and
Yep.
just seeing all these things around me is like that definitely helps.
Oh, I love that. And you're in Germany, so I feel like oh, I'm always in awe of the people that live in Europe because you have so much that's close by. Like we're in Colorado, the heart of the US, and everything is so far away. Miles and miles and hours of driving where Europe is such a beautiful place to travel. You can get to something completely different than where you're at in a matter of hours. It doesn't take long at all. And the transit system helps too.
Yeah, and that is true. On the other hand, we are spoiled for that. So for us, it seems far away. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
when American comes over, they like think it's all very close. For us, it still seems far away. So,
Yeah.
you wouldn't like drive down to Lisbon for 24 hours driving time sort of thing. It's still far away. But it's true that, you can hop over the border fast and then you are in a different country and different languages. And yeah, that's definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
We talked briefly before we hit record about you exploring your gates and the shadow sides of the gates and the higher expression. And I love this conversation because every gates, every channel, all of it has a higher and a lower expression. And understanding the shadow really does, I think, help you get to that higher expression and really be able to own your own authentic expression, be yourself without that conditioning, right? What has been your experience? Share a little bit about like the work that you've been doing in this.
In this, yeah. So I've been going through this journey, obviously myself, of being multi-passionate. So it's been easier 20 years ago because you could actually keep it separate.
Mm.
And you know what I mean? You could
Yeah.
keep your different directions separate. But now, obviously, with social media and all this online space, it's like you have to niche down. Like you have to have one. I like to call it the door into your building. So that your business is your building with all the different rooms, but you need the door to get people in.
Mm.
And that is your niche, right? Because you want the right people to go in. And I've been allergic to niching like for a very long time. Like just
Yeah.
stay away. I don't want to know about it. But the attention space and everything, the attention span and everything is like it makes sense to have this clear message to communicate what you do to get people into the door, and then you can have layered offers and broaden it like MG style.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around with that, and I've been looking at my gates in my defined centers, and I only have 3, so it's quite easy. And I've been writing out the shadow, and I've been writing out the gift, and it becomes very obvious very quick that that's kind of been my journey. And it's kind of the journey what I take clients through as well. So it describes my niche, and gate of answers and solutions and all of that. So in simplicity, and then there's the chaos and on the other side. So it describes my journey, and it describes as well the internal journey that I want my clients to go through. And it's been so visual. It's really interesting. Like I've been blown away by it.
Yeah. Well, I love I mean, you're looking at niching in a totally different way than I've heard anyone talk about it, really. But you're looking at a person, what they're going through. It's their experience that pre-qualifies them to be an ideal client, not like who they are. Like they're not necessarily an entrepreneur, right? They don't have those 3D outside labels, right? It's more about their experience and what they're dealing with on the inside that makes them a great person to work with you, right?
I think it's a lot. I think the other stuff, like the outside, is also important in a way, but it's more of a personal choice. Like I like to work with women. I like to work with women who are 40 plus. It's like it's a personal choice though, because this is like I kind of feel a connection with these people.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that all women 40 plus are my client, right? So I have to describe the internal struggle. And I know it's been used a lot, the caterpillar and the butterfly, but you can see it as the caterpillar stage when they come in. You actually provide the chrysalis for them to transform, and then they move on they transform into the butterfly. And actually looking at the gene keys of those gates, it's like it's actually been describing exactly that journey.
Yeah. So what does someone in that caterpillar phase for you, what are they struggling with? How are you helping them through? And then what are they
definitely
transforming?
self-doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely overwhelmed. Like, simplicity is my thing. So I can bring order to chaos. I can simplify things. I can give answers. And then this is like the multi-passionate thing is just to swap it's like a flip, isn't it? Like you can see it as a burden that you cannot decide for one thing, or you can just like zoom out and look at it differently and go, I've got all of these things. How do we bring this all together? I think this is,
That's so beautiful. I love that. Is there any specific gates or specific planets? How did those come about? Did you just start picking one, the one that you was drawn to, or did you go down sun, earth, moon, all of that?
I went the gates in the defined centers. I mean, everything works in combination, I think, in human design. You can't just take one element. So yes, the sun, the earth, the north node, the Mercury is really important as well to look at for your direction and your niche. And then the other side was that in the defined centers to take those gates and then write out the shadow and the gift.
So which gate was like the biggest aha for you? Is there one?
Well, I think that, as we say, the sun's the most important. I guess my sun is in a defined center, so it's gate 4, gate of answers. So yeah, definitely. And also my life theme is explanation. So it says that sentence that I hated for a very long time. You can find solutions to problems that don't even exist, but it's actually true. Like I can just rattle off solutions. And this is what I've done for 20 years in my job as well. There's a problem in the physical world, like on site, like you can't build it like you plan to build it. What do we do? And then you just have, because of the deadlines, you have to come up with solutions on the spot. And I do the same thing now, kind of thing, in the coaching.
Yeah, just coaching people. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so cool. So as a multi-passionate person, I always encourage you to create your messaging around the things that you're combining, your multi-passionate things. So human design, what other pieces are you bringing together in your multi-passionate self?
So the business coaching also goes into, for example, in the hotel space, and that sort of then brings the interior design in with it, kind of thing. But it's not something I tell you in the beginning. But so if you are like, I'm obviously attracting those clients, then I can bring the interior design as well. So I have to also, I learned also that I have to not try to just concentrate on one thing because it sort of dries up. It's
Yes.
like the energy kind of
Yep.
leaves.
Yeah.
So you have to, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, well, let's have a look at the interior design side. And then I can find a client through that and then put the business coaching on top. So it's always overlapping kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
which has really been really interesting with the people that came in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also the same way. It's like I want to have more than one thing that I'm quote unquote selling at one time because it relieves the pressure off of selling one single thing over and over and over. That I feel like I strangle the life out of it almost. And so having an umbrella that it's like, this is what I do. And then having different offers underneath has been so helpful to just take the pressure off of having to sell one thing over and over and over, but also giving lots of options, not lots, but a couple different options to people to come in different ways. Yeah.
And to prevent your boredom problem
Yes.
in
100%.
quotation marks. Like
Yes.
it's a real thing, isn't it? Like
It is.
I had an Airbnb, for example, for 7 years. And I really like that saying when they're like, MGs quit because it's too easy, not because it's difficult. And it was
Yep.
just like, I did everything, I painted everything. I did all the interior. Everything was like, I did the website. I did all of this. And then when I was done, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You go in, you do the thing, and then you're like, okay, I'm bored. I'm on to the next.
It works now, so not interested.
Have you noticed a pattern with your passions and the things that you do in how long it lasts? Like how long do you feel passionate in like this is I want to keep going in this direction before you're like, nope, I need to change directions?
No, not
No.
really.
Okay.
I think I've what I have noticed, and this is really, I think, the hard thing to explain, is like this thing that goes all the way through. So I've done architecture. I was always really good with floor plans, like they kind of speak to me like how they should be rather than how they are. And this is what happens now with the blueprint of the human design. It's like I see it just like a floor plan. Then the building emerges and the business emerges out of it, how you can do it. So there's been this red line all the way through that's really abstract in a way, if you're not into human design, I guess. And then so it's always been along that. So I don't feel like it's been that different in a way. If you go a little bit deeper, then it hasn't actually been that different. It's just that the outcome and the tools that I used were different.
Oh, that's so fascinating. I don't share it a lot, but I have a degree or a bachelor's of architecture and went to school, and like in high school, I would draw plans and loved drawing houses. And worked as an architect until I was laid off, and then went into a photography business and then started my online business with copywriting. And for me, it's been, I feel like it's 10, maybe 15 years in a deep passion of something. Like I may bring little things and go off on little tangents from it. But every 10, 15 years, there seems to be like a big whomping shift. And I mean, I'm only 40, so I feel like I have a lot of life ahead of me, but that seems to, and I don't honestly see how. I love your perspective. I want to say that. I love your perspective of looking at the human design chart as like a floor plan. And I can see that totally, especially with my, like, yeah, that is like a floor plan. And maybe that's why I can look at a human design chart and go, oh, you know what this is, and look at it from that perspective. But I find each Mani-Gen is so unique in our what we're passionate about, but also like how it transpires in our own lives. That there's the thread of that we're just passionate. We just loved going off on tangents and doing different things. And get bored easily. And I don't know, it's just beautiful to hear everyone's story. So that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, but that's the thing about doing human design readings as well, isn't it? Like hearing everyone's stories and on a really deep level as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love getting to know them. It's so fascinating. You have a freebie that you wanted to give the audience. Can you tell us about it?
I have, I've put together a little description of where I actually look for the niche, and there's this exercise in there as well with the gates and the shadow and so on. Like, and then the niche, the ideal customer. This is something I'm experimenting with. Like, is the ideal customer the opposite gate? Like, are you bridging the gate in your sun or not? So this is like something I'm just putting out there as a tester sort of thing. So yeah, like all the stuff in there of the message, your niche, how different ways of looking at it. I put that together in a little video.
Awesome. And it could be for any of the types. It's not just Manny Gens, right? Yeah. Awesome. Oh, I love it. That's a great freebie. Love it. Anything else that you want to share before we go?
I think the difficult thing with being like so into human design is not to put it onto everyone. Is like, you know what I mean? It's like, do you have that? You feel like this is like, just look at it. It's the answer. And then if people don't want it, you're like, what? How can you not want to have a look at it? Do you have that as well?
A little bit. I always try and guess what people are anytime I meet them and I'm having conversations. Like, I wonder if they're a projector, or I wonder if they have a third line. Like, I'm sitting there wondering it. But anyone that's close to me has heard me talk about it, and I've run their chart for sure.
There's so much knowledge in it. It's like, how do you not want to know that? It can be so helpful.
So helpful to understand yourself and understand why you struggle with certain things, and and don't feel like you're quote unquote normal. Yeah,
and also what I like about it is that it really puts the emphasis though on your strengths. Like, you can light up your strength and where you're good at, and you can just learn to accept that, we're sort of taught to fix our problems. And with human design, I feel like they're there, and your weaknesses and your shadows, they're there, they're part of you. You can accept it, but you don't have to fix it, kind of thing.
Yeah You don't have to fix it. It's part of you. It's your superpower. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom and all of your experience. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.